You would have a bigger beard. You would have like a biblical beard. Um, he would. How did they do it in Superman? Was there an evil Superman in the movies? I mean,
in Superman 3.
Yeah. Yeah. It was 3. That's what I was
care.
thinking. There's an apathetic Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's Family Man 3. In my when I write the scripts, I basically call them Family Man 1, 2, and 3. Like that's what they're called until I retitle them. And even to this day, like I look at all my files and it's called Family Man 2, even though it's Steen's Revenge. But yeah, like it's all one story, but I call it the Steen trilogy now because it's him.
Yeah.
He's even in the first one, he's the main catalyst to everything that happens. So is it Steen 3 the next one?
Yeah, is the next one?
No, it's Steen 2. The next movie is probably going to kill me. No, I mean, the next one's going to be an emotional journey through time and space. It's going to be big. I've come to realize that it may, with all the ideas I have and all the, basically I have 2 movies I was going to put into one, but they don't necessarily gel. So I may just have to make 2 separate movies with one continuing story. Yeah, it's going to be jumping through the past, and it's going to be romance and heartbreak and murder and revenge, because it's got to be in there. It's Steve's Revenge.
Yeah.
And it might also be a total mess, because there's just so much that needs to happen and so much that I want to happen and can't just... I refuse to say no. I'm not going to say that idea is great, but I'm going to toss it, because I love every idea that I've thought of. No, I'm serious. It's going to be like 4 hours long. It's going to kill me. Hopefully we can go up north. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to have to fundraise for real this time. I'm going to have to get some money, because there's no way I'm paying for it. It's going to be a big movie. I'm going to have to get people to do it with me, like to help. It's going to be huge. It's going to be emotional. Like, it's powerful. Yeah, it's going to be a dark movie. Like, even the way I want to shoot it, I don't know if I'm that good. I really don't. I have serious doubts about being able to write. Like, I have the themes and the story in mind, but I don't know if I can write it. I don't know if I can shoot it. I don't know. I may have to, like, call Coppola and say, you take care of it. So yeah, the next movie is going to be deep, heavy, dark, stressful, emotional.
Looking forward
Not
to
very actiony. I don't really see a lot of action. But, well, you see, like I mentioned earlier, I have essentially 2 stories, where there's the one story that I wrote, I don't know how long ago it was, that's basically, like, it's continues in the vein of the previous 2, where it's an action movie. But then the story I'm writing now is, and I feel a lot stronger about, I mean significantly stronger about, is pretty much no action. It's all drama. So I may have to make 2 movies with a central connection. I was reading the Steen 2 script the other day, and I hadn't read it. Like this, what I had already, or what I have already, is pretty much things I wrote during shooting Steen 1. But I was reading this script, and somehow it tied in. Like, the ideas, the seemingly opposite, well, not opposite, but very different ideas, somehow meshed in. There were little lines of dialogue that somehow connected to what I've got now. Like, this is amazing. How this is meant to be. I was so impressed with myself that somehow I had created this synergy. I don't know how I'm going to write the script. I really don't. When I was reading the script the other day, I told you about this earlier.
Yeah.
I was reading the script, and I found all these Predator references that just made me piss my pants laughing. They were so funny. I forget what context it is in the movie. Oh, right. It's when, well, I don't want to give too much away, but Lucy comes back. So it's when Lucy and Steen meet for the first time again. And she's beat him down because I really wanted Ruby to use her kung fu skills this time. So Steen's been beat down. He's on the ground and he looks up at her and says, "Come on, right here, kill me." I was reading it in a quiet room. There was another guy. He wasn't sleeping, but he was on his phone, just minding his own business as I was. And I started cracking up. For him to say that, I think Dinesh can pull it off.
Have you, but you haven't tossed him, like, get to the chopper?
No. I have the, "You son of a bitch." I have that in there.
Oh, man.
That was the first thing I wrote in there. What's his name? I think it's Randy. "Randy, you son of a bitch." I even wrote in, "Their arms meet and biceps ripple." Yeah, I am studying The Godfather 2. Not my favorite Godfather movie. And if you're wondering, the first one is. People will argue with me, "How can you like one better than two?" Because it is better. Because besides the flashbacks with young Vito, nothing happens in that movie. It just goes nowhere. And everything happens in number one. And it's all awesome. If you had asked me a month or two ago, which I think you did,
Yep.
I would have said I want to do something in between next Steen and now. Or before, let's just say before next Steen. But now I'm in such a Steen mode. I'm just having such brain lightning that it's what I'm going to do, I guess. I wanted to do a small personal project, I guess you'd call it that, or something not Steen, something a little more dramatic and emotional beforehand, just to kind of have a break from it. But I'm kind of incorporating that into the next Steen. It's a mega movie. But my ideas for that smaller movie I wanted to do are not the ones that are going into Steen. So I really don't know. I mean, to prep for the next Steen is probably going to take a lot of time where I'll have time to make something else. So I don't know, I'll see how I feel. No, I mean, I'm really, for like a long time, most of, probably all of last year, a large chunk of shooting Steen's Revenge, Volume 1, it was going to be, this is it. Like, I don't want to make movies anymore after this. I was spent. But now I'm really back into a filmmaker mode. Like, I was at work the other day and I started just thinking about the next movie, and I looked at the script and there was fun brewing in me. Like, it was a good feeling, and I hadn't felt that in a long time, or maybe that particular feeling I'd never really felt it. Like, I felt like I was really onto something. I think I felt that way with the first Scene, and it just declined from there. But I really I have that ET glow in me now. No, like, I feel like things are brewing again. I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is how I felt before I started going to college. Well, based on the ideas I had, I don't really have any place for my existing stable, let's call them. No, I mean, I don't, because as I mentioned, they're personal projects, I don't see any actor I've worked with being me, or a proxy of me or whatever, right? So no, I wouldn't work with them. Even I would be in need of a female or five for the next movie. see Ruby in there whatsoever. She doesn't fit the bill. I mean, it's not that I would write them off entirely, working with them again. It's just they don't fit. It's like, why would I cast, I was going to say Sam Jackson in Star Wars, but that happened. My dream project, for a long time, it was to remake Jurassic Park, as blasphemous as that is, according to the source material. Because as anyone who's read the book knows, it's dramatically different than the movie. As good as the movie is, the book's better. And it's grander, and it's got more dinosaurs, and all that. So for a while, that was my dream project. I was going to remake Jurassic Park with $200 million. But no more. Now my dream project is to adapt Essex County, the graphic novel, or I guess three graphic novels and a bunch of mini ones, by Jeff Lemire into a film. Though I approached Jeff 2.5, 3 years, I don't know how long ago it was, about the movie rights, and he said they've already gone, but he'd get in touch with me if they didn't make any, if nothing came of them. I don't think he'll remember anyway. I set out to make Steen so I could have kind of a showpiece to say, okay, I can make a movie. So I could get some financing and get the ball rolling on Essex County. Because it's just the greatest thing. We got some copies of the whole story in at work this week, and I just stopped and I stared at it, because it evokes such an emotional response in me. It's just the best thing I've ever read, whether it's written or graphic or whatever. It's just, it hits me right in the gut, right in the heart. It's just the best thing. Volume 2, Ghost Stories. That's what really gets me. That's the story I can really, unfortunately, relate to, or feel that I will be relating to in approximately 20 to 30 years. Yeah, they're very, I remember the first time I picked up the first volume, Tales from the Farm. It just, I don't know, it was weird. I saw this, it was at work again. I saw this novel sitting there, and it was on the cover. It was this boy staring out into the distance. He had a red cape on, and there was something about this lone boy that just got me, it captured me. So I took the book, and I just went and I read the whole thing. I didn't care if I was on my break or not. I just went and I read the whole thing, and it just got me, right? I moved on. I found the next volume, Ghost Stories, and I remember reading it. And it just hitting me even harder. I remember reading it, not that it really has anything to do with the situation, but I remember reading it when my grandma was in the hospital, and I remember carrying that with me. The Ghost Stories doesn't really have anything to relate to it, but Tales from the Farm, there's a part in Tales from the Farm where Lester, the little boy on the cover, it's in a flashback, and it's flashing back to he at his mother's bed as she's dying, and it's just tied into the situation I was in at the time. So there's a lot of emotional resonance to Essex County for me, and it's just the art in it, because it's cinematic and beautiful. It's sparse, it's all black and white, but it's just beautiful. So Essex County would be the movie. I was actually planning it out to shoot. I was going to go down to the actual Essex County down in Windsor and shoot it. Well, actually, to save time and money, I was going to go up to Stouffville, but Stouffville's changing so much now. It's industrial or residentializing. I don't know what to say. It's developing. It's being developed.